What up? Welcome back to Cool Kid TCG. Here we have purple Luffy versus green Bonney. I hear this matchup's not good for us, but talking with my friends, they say it's more about 50-50. We did lose the dice roll, so not great. We are going second. Looking at this hand, I tend to keep this hand. One, we have the Big Mom to put away anything potentially troublesome. But we also have a Hitokiri Kamazo. I'll explain that in a second. My friend Chosa is going to show his hand to see if it's a good hand. He wanted to ask if it's a good hand to keep. Here it is. We got the 0-cost event, 2-cost Rosinante blocker, Cabbage, 8-cost Kid blocker, and 10-cost Dofi. I do like this as a good hand because like he has something he can pretty much play every single turn. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure. So we start out, we're going second. We're going to play down the Law Searcher we have in our hand. One of the things I was saying is Hitokiri Kamazo, reason I kept it, it's a 2K normally, but we got the Usohachi 2K. But it might come in handy because we're not going to have that many swings and we'll be able to pop some of the lower things that normally we would have trouble clearing because Bonney's ability on it, when I attack, they can arrest, tap 1 Dawn and rest anything. Here he swings 7 into life. We're going to give him the 2K, 1K. And there we go. He hasn't established anything on his board yet. We're going to be at 4 Dawn, ramp to 5. We do have a Songoro, I believe, in hand we can play. But I'm thinking this through, and I'm thinking I want to try out the Hitokiri Kamazo idea. The reason being is like I said, maybe it could pop a Bonney blocker. So here we sing 6 in the life. He's going to take, and then we're going to establish the Hitokiri Kamazo. He rests the Law. That's only a target he can rest off of leader effect. Now we have this Kamazo. We'll see if it comes into play, but I wanted to try it out. He sings 5 into the 1, clears the lock. I'm okay with that. Now he plays the Cavendish, which allows him to restand 2 Dawn, and he plays the Bonney Searcher. He immediately says, oh, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have played it because it's just going to get popped. He's probably a little bit unfamiliar. He's a really good player, but he's probably a little bit unfamiliar with the Hitokiri Kamazo he's picking up just to make sure. So yeah, I was like, hey, you could take it back if you want. He's like, no, it's cool. But yeah, the troublesome card is the Cavendish because he can restand 2 Dawn on attack and on play. I would like to get rid of that card as soon as possible, but I have no way to get rid of it as of right now. But we do have the Luffy Taro Songoro, I believe we can do, and doing so we do a leader effect to ramp to 7. Did we ramp to 7? No, we ramp to 8. So we can sing 6 into life. He's going to use leader effect to rest the Kamazo. He takes, and then now we can Luffy Taro into Songoro. In the process of returning a Dawn, pop a 2-cost or lower. So we pop that bond. Already got value off of the Hitokiri Kamazo. He's going to now drop. Yeah, the Cavendish is very scary. That's a card I want to try to get rid of as soon as possible. But the other card he's going to play this turn is another one that I equally fear. Maybe not equally fear after this matchup. I think I learned my lesson. But it's one that it's a troublesome card, especially in this deck that doesn't have a lot of removal. He's going to drop, I think he drops it first, so that way he can have some extra Dawn. He swings 5 into life, I believe. I don't think he swings into the Kamazo. He's thinking things through. And I give him a 2K because that's all we have is 2Ks. We don't have any. And he plays the Carrot. Carrot on attack and on play freezes a 7-cost or less. So that Kamazo is frozen. Now he swings 6 into life. And I'm going to give him the Usohachi 2K. So yeah, that's how he still has a Dawn standing to leader effect. That Cavendish is very troublesome. But he still has some Dawn. He's going to drop I believe a 2-cost Rosinante or a Killer and put a Dawn on it. Killer is a 2-cost blocker that on block allows him to draw a card. But we can clear that with the Kamazo if we can return a Dawn, which we have a way to do it. A very strong play is the 9 Mama. This is what I want to do immediately. Return the Dawn. We're going to pop the blocker and we're going to heal. Now here's where I think the most interesting decision in this particular game. I'm thinking about what to put away. My instincts tell me the Cabbage is the more troublesome card, but I can swing into that. There's a chance I could kill it. Also, the carrot's pretty troublesome as well. I don't want that to continually freezing something. It could freeze anything on my board. I decided to put the carrot away. I tell him, hey, can you tell me later if that was the right call? But yeah, now I swing 8 into the cabbage, and he's going to give me a 0 cost event plus something else to keep that cabbage alive. And him keeping that cabbage alive this entire game is probably what wins him the game. I probably should have dedicated more resources. I think the turning point in the game is this particular interaction where I probably should have put the cabbage away. Now I swing 5 into life and he takes. He rested the Songoro off of leader effect. Our board's looking pretty good, but we have to have a big board because he can rest something automatically. He's at 3 life, including the Cavendish on the bottom. Including the carrot at the bottom. We have a big body in the Big Mom and a Luffy Taro, but one of those is going to get rested. But that's okay because I like being able to swing that Songoro because we get to draw a card now but with the level of Dawn we're at. He swings 6 into the Kamazo. We don't have a lot of cards in hand. Unfortunately, we're going to have to let it die, especially because he's checking my trash, I believe, for 2Ks. And there's a decent amount of 2Ks in there, so I only have 3 cards in hand, I believe. I unfortunately have to let that die. He drops the 8 cost kid. He's on 8 Dawn right now, and this is where the cabbage really comes in the clutch because now this allowed him to play this 8 cost kid because he can swing the 6 into the 6 and give a 1K, and he can get 2 Dawn back, 1 for leader effect and 1 to activate kid's effect, which with a Dawn, you can rest it, play out a blocker. And I have to swing into the Eustace kid. Now with my Kamazo gone, I can't clear that blocker in any creative way. I have to basically brute force it and swing into it. I have all 10 Dawn. I'm thinking about the best way to do it. I'm going to eventually swing 12, I believe, into... He has like 4 or 5 cards in hand. 12 into the kid blocker. Or excuse me, he's not a blocker, but I have to swing into it. I'm going to swing 12 into the kid. Hope he gives me the blocker and then swing another big number into it. I'm thinking about also whether to keep Dawn up to try to swing into the cabbage afterwards as well. That's the whole thought process of where we're going to arrange the Dawn. I don't think we're going to keep any Dawn standing or very much standing for playing things. We have to prioritize getting rid of that kid this turn. If we get lucky, we can also clear the cabbage, but we have to get rid of that. So we swing 12 into the kid blocker. This is going to be very telling what happens. Either he's going to give us a whole bunch of cards out of hand, or he's going to use the blocker. He uses leader effect to rest the Luffy Taro, and he gives us the blocker. Now we have 7 Dawn. I'm thinking of the best way to arrange this and swing on the Songor. He is going to draw us a card. But yeah, we need to put 2 Dawn at least on Songoro to have a chance to kill it. But we're probably going to have to put a lot more. We can't take any chances. We have to kill the kid with this swing. That's my thought process, why I end up putting more Dawn than I probably should. But I'm thinking I really need to kill the kid this particular turn. And I don't get greedy and try to think, let me try to save some to try to clear cabbage afterwards. I keep 1 up for a Gum Gum Giant. Swing 5 into life, he takes. He's now down to 2 life. I do keep 1 up for Gum Gum Giant. And again, this turn's going to show the power of Cavendish in this deck, what it allows him to do. Because he's going to drop 10 cost Dofi on us. One of the good things about having his Cavendish is he has to play his plays first and then start swinging, because that way he can restand the Dawn with the Cavendish. So I do know kind of what to counter out of. That is kind of like a silver lining to this gray cloud. But yeah, he drops a Dofi. He's going to eventually freeze our board. He's thinking exactly what to do. He knows for sure he wants to freeze the 2 big ones. He's thinking about leader versus Songoro. But yeah, he's going to eventually freeze the board. Now, here's where he says he makes a mistake, and he kind of does, but I don't think it makes too much of a difference because I give him a 2K anyways. He's debating. First, he's going to tap the Cavendish to swing, but then he's going to untap it and think like, oh, wait, let me take this swing back. I want to think this through. But I think this was the original. I think this was the best thing. because that way he could swing 6-6. This way he swings 5 first, I take, and then he swings 6 and restands, and I give him a 2K. I think that even if he swings 6-6, I'm going to take one and give him a 2K for the other. So I don't think it makes too much of a difference in the grand scheme of the outcome. But it does hurt and does set us back the fact that our whole board's frozen and he established a 10-cost body. I'm thinking of what to do. We can play that. We have a Rush Sanji in hand. We could use this just to swing, but I don't think it's the time for that. We have a Luffy Taro. We could play the Luffy Taro into something. And we have Nico Robin and Kid blocker. I could, for example, play the Luffy Taro into the Nico Robin and establish a blocker. But I decide what I'm going to eventually do here is I'm going to put 3 on leader and swing 2 above the Cavendish. He's got 4 cards in hand, I believe. Swing 2 above the Cavendish and hope it dies, and then establish a Nico Robin and a Kid blocker. Maybe this is also where I make a mistake. Maybe I should have higher prioritized killing the cabbage and put 5 on, for example. Or maybe even put like 7 or 8 on and just play the Nico Robin blocker. Because both those blockers, in theory, could get rested by a Hody Jones. But I decide to swing 8 into the cabbage. He's going to 2K, 1K out of it. So we do get some more cards out of hand. But again, that thing's alive, and that card is troublesome and has plagued us the entire time. I do the 2, like I said, 2, 5. We have 2 blockers. Hope he doesn't have a Hody Jones, because again, he could just rest both of them with the Hody Jones. But our board is full. I like the idea of we can counter out of one of the swings with the Nico Robin blocker. We could use the Kid blocker if we need to keep something alive. And hopefully take a hit or 2. Maybe have to let the Songro die. We have 2 cards in hand. Again, one of the benefits of him having trying to get the most is he has to kind of telegraph his moves in terms of he has to play the thing first and then have Dawn rested so that he can restand with the cabbage rather than swing first. That's a slight benefit, so we know kind of what's coming. Because he's going to do a play here that I kind of didn't expect, but it's a very strong play. He's going to tap 5. Here, I'll wait for him to do it. Yeah, he's going to eventually tap 5. And he's going to play a Jewelry Bonney out and freeze. That freezes any card. It can freeze a Dawn as well. Here comes the Jewelry Bonney. He freezes my Big Mom. So that will not become active next turn. Now he swings 8 into the Songoro. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to let it die. He does restand 2. He has 4 Dawn standing at this point. So I'm just thinking it through. I have to let it die. I'm thinking about whether to use the blocker, but I'm thinking I should probably keep that blocker alive, the Nico baby blocker, for the Dofi swing, wherever that goes. I don't want him to potentially dawn up and kill like something like the Luffy Taro or even the Big Mom. Even though I probably should let the Big Mom die from the fact that it's frozen. But I do let the Songoro die. That was just a hypothetical. I'm not saying he swung at the Big Mom. Now he taps. Oh, he still has 2 swings. He swings 10 into, I don't even know, forget where he swings, but we're going to give him the blocker anyway. Whatever he was swinging, we're giving him the blocker for that. I believe he swung into the Luffy Taro. And then he's going to swing 7 into life. We're going to take. And he establishes a Corazon blocker. Now, he has, at this point, I think 3 cards in hand, 4 cards in hand. He doesn't have a lot. I know the last life is a 1K. I don't know what the other life is. He has a blocker. I have 3 swings, but really 2 swings because he's going to rest one of them, and I need to hit him 3 times. This is where I probably make a mistake. I think I get a little bit too aggressive. I think I get too aggressive here and think I have to go for game when I probably don't. I mean, granted, my hand's not great. I don't have any 2Ks. I don't have any Gum Gum Giants, I believe. And I don't have any blockers other than the Kid blocker. And I'm getting in my own head a little bit about that blocker being rested by a potential Hody Jones. But we do establish the 7-cost Sanji to rest. We return a Dawn and get that Dawn back. We swing 8 into life, and he's thinking about what to rest. He rests the Sanji we just played, which is what I expected. We now have 4 Dawn. He's going to take this hit. We have 4 Dawn, and we have 2 swings. We can swing 7, 8 per game, or we can just keep the blockers standing and hope we draw a Gum Gum Giant off of life. That's kind of our 2 options at this point. Maybe I shouldn't have got myself into the situation with 4 Dawn standing. Anyways, we swing 7 into life, and he's going to take. And then I'm thinking about whether we go for game. And at this point, I think I kind of have to go for game. My check is trash. He doesn't have a lot of 2Ks. So I'm thinking, yeah, this probably isn't a great play. But I've kind of already pigeonholed myself into this move. I feel like I have to put 2 Dawn and swing 8 for game. I wish I had an inactive Dawn I could ramp and swing 9 for game. That would make me feel really good. But yeah, I'm going to have to eventually swing 8 for game. I'm just thinking it through, but I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I have the strength to do it. Here comes the 8 for game, and he's going to give us all of the counter he has in hand. 2 1Ks and a 2K. So yeah, we're cooked at this point. No Dawn standing. He's got a full board. He has to hit us 3 times, and he has 4 really good swings. So yeah, not great. We're going to end up losing this game, but we were 1K counter short, or he was 1K, I guess 1K power short in a way on the turn we went for game. Maybe, again, we should have tried to block her up or done something a little bit more defensive, but he is going to drop a Hody Jones on this turn, saying he has the Hody Jones, so he could have rested any blockers or Dawn. So it would have been tough to block her up. We might have been cooked regardless. Maybe it was the right call to go for game because we were cooked regardless. But yeah, this is just kind of, just finishing it out at this point. He has the game. Here comes the Hody. The reason he plays the Hody is so he can get 2 extra Dawn from the Cavendish. And then, yeah, here comes the game. I only have, I think, 2K, maybe 3K counter in hand. Ultimately, I think that this player, Chosa, he's an incredible player. And you have to, it comes down to micro decisions against the really good players. And I think the most important decision was putting the Carrot away versus putting the Cavendish away. It's hard to say in the moment. Maybe you could make the argument for one versus the other. And I chose Carrot. The reason being is probably because I got greedy and thought I could swing into the Cavendish and clear everything. But him doing that allowed him to do so much more. But him playing that kid and on curve, and then with the Cavendish allowing him to use its ability on curve, stalled him out that one turn he needed to be able to establish a 10-cost body, which just stalled him out another turn, which allowed him to just catch up. And that was huge. I think that was an important decision in the game that I got wrong. I'm hoping to learn. I think my lesson I've learned from here is don't get greedy and take care of the Cavendish no matter what at all costs. But yeah, credit to Chosa. He's a really good player, and he won this game. But yeah, thanks for watching. This is an interesting matchup, and tune in next time.